Hello, everybody. Sorry, that was a bit of a rough start. I don't know what I was thinking. Didn't have stuff on correctly. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I'm probably gonna let some people trickle in. Barbara, I saw your message right before I went live. Yes, everything was mailed out, so your package is on its way to you. I apologize that I didn't see your message sooner. Um, that was an oversight that I want to apologize for. I don't would never want any of you to feel like I was ignoring you, especially not those of you who've chosen to spend your hard-earned dollars with me. So I apologize for that sincerely. I know nobody's like surprised that I forgot to put on my list before I got started. So I had some stuff that I wanted to do tonight, but Steve did not make it home before I went live. You guys last week said that you would prefer to start earlier, so I started it an hour earlier this week. But that meant that he wasn't home in time. So, and there was some logistical stuff that I needed help with. So and also, I'm telling you this to preemptively apologize for the fact that my dogs will likely go nuts when he does get home. I have the worst offenders in here with me. So, usually, if it's not dad, when they're in here with me, they don't bark as much. Or when they're in here with me when I'm on video, they don't really bark. But this room is also right by where he parked, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get too loud. I will mute it if it does, in fact, get a little chaotic, but I wanted to apologize ahead of time. Okay. Also, I know that some of you guys have been asking for me to do a pearl sale, and I have been researching things. I went down and I talked to Bernie last night. And just so you guys know, like, this is the third time I've been to Bernie's Beads since before Thanksgiving. That's how everything with my leg has been. I did it. I haven't. I've literally been there 3 times, and your girl used to be there like 4 or 5 times a week. So, but while I was there, he did give me some pretties to take a look at and then to research pricing and whatever, and then I will be getting back with him after the fact to discuss what I think are like good fair prices, not just for me, but so that I can give you guys the best prices possible. Um, but I had heard of South Sea pearls before. I did not realize that they were like this beautiful thing. I'm going to show you. These are South Sea shell pearls. These are 100% shell. So typically, shell pearls are primarily glass with so many coatings of like pearl luster or shell luster put over the top. So these would be kind of similar to what you would think mother of pearl is. Now, this isn't even a drop in the bucket when it comes to the sizes and shapes he has available, but I want to take it down. So here are some of them. These bronze ones are everything. Just gonna say everything. They're so beautiful. I'm obsessed with them. These ones, I can't decide if they're blue or green. I really can't decide if they're blue or if they're green because they are such a like dark, rich color that it's nearly impossible to tell. And I say that because I know this pearl is blue. And so it's just like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. But yes, so Like I said, if Beth gets here, she'll let us know whether they're blue or green. I'm sure because she is the reigning blue um expert. That's what I was looking for. I promise that's what I was looking for, Beth. If you're listening and didn't think that's what I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna say the whole time. I swear. I just couldn't think of the word. Also I need to put my phone on do not disturb real quick so that we're not in fact disturbed any more than the dogs are gonna do it anyways. Anyways, these I kept calling Easter pearls because like the yellow, the like this is either a deeper yellow or a light peach. So pretty. I hope Tammy Fleury is on here. I fully believe that the yellow pearls you sent me were these because they never looked like glass pearls, but they didn't also quite feel like freshwater pearls. So I think this is what they were. I tried to see if like the outer coating would come off those pearls and they didn't. But I don't know why. Maybe this is just because these are the colors you see in Easter baskets. So like you they're just so pretty, guys. This mauve is like everything. So pretty. And then there's like this blue green strand. And again, see, oh, roll them up a little bit. See, I can tell this is dark blue, but then this is next to it, and I'm like, okay, wait, is that blue or is it green? I can't figure it out to save the life of me. But these brown ones are beautiful. So I'm really excited. I thought Beth had seen the picture, and I was like, I figured you were gonna go Gaga for the bronze pearls. You must, unless you just didn't see him. And she's like, oh, I'm Gaga. So yeah. Um. So are these things that you guys would be interested in me having during a sale? And if so, dependent upon price, would you want them in shorter strands like this or full strands? I know what you're gonna say, Leah. I know you're gonna want the big full strands because you will be using them to a degree that getting a bunch of short strands just wouldn't make sense. But like I'm sorry, I'm still obsessed with these. Do you see this deep dark purple? So pretty. And then this is like a lighter purple. They're just so pretty. But so if you guys this is something you guys would be interested in getting, do you guys I just need to know if you guys would want full length strands, if you'd be okay with these. I know Rosanna was like, oh, they're all single knotted. They're single knotted on the large strands too. And it's funny because the full strands come with tassels on either end, and they are like thick, full, true silk tassels on either end. So you know that they're good. I always thought that South Sea pearls were like saltwater pearls. Maybe I just don't. I don't know. Are you home or are you just saying hello because you're stuck in traffic? Sorry, my husband just did a little wavy hand at me. Um, yeah. Wait, yeah, I can't see what that is. Traffic. Figured as much. Oh, she was waving back at you. Yeah, I figured you were stuck in traffic because it's 5 o'clock here right now. So, and he works all the way out on the other side. So the other thing that he happens to have, though not as many as he has of these, which is why I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to get a really good price for us. Because like he literally has tubs of these he couldn't even lift. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm hoping Like he doesn't even have them out for the general public. So I'm hoping. But beyond that, he also does, I mean, he's got like 3 or 4 tubs, and some of the glass pearls in those tubs are not anything I would create with personally. So unless somebody very specifically was like looking for a specific color or whatever of something I wanted acrylic or less expensive glass pearls, I would not have a problem going down and going through those tubs for you, but I would be because I'd be going through them anyways to pull out um, the best ones. He does have these vintage glass pearls as well, which I'm gonna create with this because they like go perfectly with the red. So I figured I would create with those, and then I'll just tell you what I wanted to do today. And that was to go over, and now I put these in here and it was a big mistake because they're nearly impossible to get out because the lip starts like underneath there. But I have a ton of little tubs, not like Bernie size tubs, but little tubs full of wooden beads of different size. They all have different size holes on them based on what size cording I was going to be using, whatever. But I also happen to have a ridiculous amount of like the little nail art and nail stickers that like your manicurist has and whatnot. And so I wanted to paint some of these, and I also wanted to stain some of these, and then show you guys how funny can be to just sit there and glue bead caps on either end, and then you can take some of that nail art and go around the middle. So that's what I was going to use because I'm just now getting into the bigger beads, guys. Like that whole scene, I see the value of them. I know that a lot of people call them the grandma beads, and so that may be why. So I'm a GG. Just that's great. People want to get out with I'm a GG. It's different, but anyways, um, and then you can go over it with clear varnish, and it'll be beautiful. But I'm one of those people who don't like bead caps that end up taking up, like if you have one on either side, all but the middle of a bead. And so I have all of these bead caps that are larger size, and I've had no idea what to do with them. And then I saw a couple of those beads that can be quite expensive if somebody else makes them for you. Um, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what we could do with these. And then we can just paint like the wood beads, you can stain them, whatever. And so I'm going to be bringing that to you when I can. But yeah, aren't they, Brandy? They're beautiful. That is true, Leah. I didn't think about it that way because I'm not going to lie, I had the same thought that Rosanna did, where I was like, man, I'm gonna have to cut each of these pearls off of this string to work with it. And but I didn't think of that. You're absolutely right, especially because they've been sitting in tubs, just under. Like he has these 2 big long tables, and then he has like this black fabric that goes over them. And if you lift up the black fabric, underneath there is where he stores things. So they've literally just been sitting in there. So, and she says that he's taking them out every once in a while. He used to have like a handful of customers that would go in there solely just to buy the South Sea pearls. But that's kind of going, like, that's not a big trend right now. So, um, yeah. It will be though if I haven't been to you about it. But then people are just buying for me and not for me. I'm so much nicer. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this. This is another thing. Obviously, I have the glass pearls that I have sold during my live sales before, and I can get those in a bunch of different colors, which is fine. This is the thing. So, if you guys can start emailing me a list of the different colors you would like, I don't mind getting a few of them in like one size and then breaking down the cost that would be for the various sizes. And then if the ordering is there, then obviously I don't mind getting them. Now, going from 4mm to 12mm is a huge investment. Would be a huge investment for me, especially because I'm the only one that is shouldering that cost to just have them all sitting on a shelf in my house. Like that doesn't do me any good. So that's the only problem. But I don't mind doing so. As of now, I have white and ivory in the sizes that from 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12mm. So, but the white and ivory are they're the standard, I guess. I wasn't surprised that those were the ones that sold. So, anyways, also, if you guys have any like fun things you'd like me to try, if there's a technique that maybe you've been thinking about getting into or whatnot, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you're not sure, if you would like to know like the difficulty it is and like what the cost would be to like really get into it, let me know. And I don't mind doing a little bit of research. I don't mind learning a new technique and practicing it and demonstrating it for those of you who have wondered like the difficulty level of them. But again, even that, you guys, that's all subjective because there are things that are easy for me that are hard for other people and vice versa. So like nodding is easier for me because I do have the background in macrame. And so if I learned on like larger cord, so then to take it down isn't as difficult. But I don't like the micro patterns. I don't have the hand strength or like ability to sit there and do all those knots when it takes thousands of them to produce one bracelet. That's not something that I would be able to do. So we're just working there. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? So like I said, I'm gonna be getting with burning on these. The smallest ones that you see on my desk are 10mm. The larger ones are 14. That's something else I need to like go down and go through and see what other sizes he has. But yeah, these are just fabulous. See, these are for fall. These are all your fall colors. Here's what I'm calling the Easter beads, because those are all colors that you would see in Easter baskets, stuff like that. And then these like bronzy coppery ones are gorgeous. Then there's the like blue and green strands. And then he does have single strands of most of these colors. Um, She actually said it's cheaper to get them like this than it is to get them in solid colors, which I was a little surprised by, but then thought like, okay, maybe people didn't want full strands of all of these colors. And so maybe they just had old stock, so they put them together and were like, just sell them for what you can sell them for. So they're really pretty. And I'm still researching them so that I can pass on correct and right information about them, because I don't want to ever sell you guys something and then be like, oh, well, you didn't tell me about this and find out it's because I didn't know. That's not fun. I don't like that. So, but tonight, what I want to work on, not worry on, sorry, work on. Heather, why didn't you have something right here? The other thing about the wood beads, I just picked up an organza bag and spilled beads everywhere. Yeah, you heard that. Goodness gracious. I was just wanting to keep these on one spot. That is my way. Anyways, also today I was showing Beth the fact that I had just gotten some more. Where did it go? I had an entire container of it. I was showing her some walnut beads that her Rosanna, some walnut beads that I got that originally came from Brazil. They're very beautiful. And the way that they come, it literally filled an entire stacker. There were two in the 6 millimeter filled this much, two of them, and then the other color fills four of the sections. That's why I'm like, where'd they go? Now, the way that they come, they look one way, and then I showed her just by simply I just rubbed some coconut oil onto them really quickly. It took like no time at all to do so. The colors just get deeper and richer and everything. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, were you telling Steve that he looks so pretty tonight? Um, you want to start with leather brandy? Okay. Here's the thing. I also don't mind doing classes, guys, but here's the thing. Outside of my sales, I'm not making money on this gig yet. So, it's kind of part of the reason that I had to take a bit of a step back because I was working 6 or 7 days a week. Had a live Monday through Friday. I was prepping for those lives outside of it, as well as for the sales. And then on Saturday I would have a sale. On Sunday I would have a show. And so it was an everyday thing. And outside of like the sales, I'm not making money on this yet. And the sales were still on a smaller scale. I have maybe 25 of you that show up on the sales. So you can imagine that the orders and only getting the stuff that I have, you guys go elsewhere as well. And I understand that things are more expensive for me than somebody who's been doing this forever and has all the contacts and whatever else. I'm not going to get the same prices that they're going to get. So, because I don't have relationships directly with suppliers as of yet. That's what I'm hoping to focus on. But in order to do so, I have to have the capital with which to spend. So that's what we're doing all of that. But I just want to let you guys know that when it comes to like things like that, if I'm going to, oh, yes, these are wood. This is walnut wood from Brazil. They're absolutely gorgeous. But like I was saying, I do not understand what I did with that container. This is gonna drive me nuts because I literally just put them all away. I throw them in here and get them out of my way, even though I just cleaned this out. Build it up again. Because, yes. So this is what they look like when they get to you. And I ordered these off of Amazon. They're inexpensive. Um, this is what they look like when they get to you, but you take a little bit of time to put the oil, and you can use any oil. Coconut, I use coconut oil. You can use olive oil. You can use linseed oil. You can use orange oil. Anything you want, and that's the difference. But I probably pay a tenth of what I would pay if all of these beads look like this at the time that I bought them. So that's why if you're like, oh, those don't look like other walnut beads I've seen. Yeah, because you've probably seen ones that have either been polished to a very high degree, which then I would probably get 20 beads for the price I paid 200 for 200 of them. So it's just things like that. And those are the little things that I like to pass on to you guys. Like there's no need to necessarily to pay unless you appreciate the convenience. There's no need to pay the higher price for the polished or already oiled or conditioned walnut beads when you can get them at this price and do it. Look, you put a little bit of coconut oil on like a rag or a paper towel and put a small handful in that and just that's all it takes. And I can do quite a few of these very quick. I could do this entire stacker worth of walnut beads in less than 10-15 minutes. It takes that little time. But those are the tools and tips, tricks and tips that I like to pass on to you. I could sit here and polish these and charge the higher price, but yeah, I can oil one right now. Not a problem. Paper towel, coconut oil. So there's some coconut oil in here. I live in Arizona, so it's melted now. So that's all I put, right? Even with you guys right here, I will show you. That quick. And then if you're smart, you rub them on your hands a little bit to get the excess off. And now you've conditioned yourself as well. But do you see how little time it took me to like do a handful of them? It doesn't take any time at all. And I can stick another handful in the same paper towel and oil the next set of them that quickly. It's that's it's stuff like this that drives me crazy when I figure it out. But this is also the stuff that I'm the crazy person that researches why are those beads so darn expensive and these ones aren't. And then I find out that it's just, and look, they can put these into a huge drum and polish them. And they're doing them on like the tens of thousands at a time all at once. But you take a little bit of time, and that's all it takes to condition some wood beads. And even here, I'll even do the pine one. So this is a very, I got a hole in the paper now. I'm trying to get, I don't want this one everywhere. So these are very inexpensive. Oh, why do I keep putting them in these containers? Very inexpensive pine bead, right? They're the cheapest. This is what everybody uses. Just that little bit of time and a little bit of oil. And I had oil on my hands too. So even the pine, you can just see that the color is richer on this side. It's much more. I can see the difference a lot more in person But also, if I put just a little bit more, like the more saturated that you get the bead, and then you just wipe it off. If I took a little rag this size with a little bit of, Old American stain and did it, same thing. Then it's even less. And then once the stain dries, and you want to let the stain dry for at least 3 days before you oil wood that's been stained. You don't want to stain a bead and then turn around and try to oil it right away. What's actually going to happen is that the stain and the oils won't, it's kind of like oil and water almost, but it just becomes very patchy. If you've gotten wood beads where the ends are a darker color than the middle, that's what they did. They had it sit in a vat of stain, and every few days they would sit there with like a paddle and push things down. And then, of course, the bottom 1/3 of the bead is the only bead that's under the water. You can't sit there and keep, all of those beads down. Now, there are places that obviously they have, yeah, here goes. You guys, no, Shiloh, hold on, he's almost a second. I'm gonna mute this. You don't care. All he said was coming and they all shut up.
That's
There, yeah.
Sorry. Come on, guys. Come on, girls. I got it.
Okay. Sorry about that. Now, the companies that care about putting out a quality product, they have like a hydraulic system that goes down and it pushes the beads and keeps them all submerged. And so that's why you'll see some wood beads that are stained and it's all the same color from top to bottom, unless it's a variation of the wood itself. Um, and then there are wood beads that are sold as stained when they're not actually stained. It's watered down paint. And that's why it's so like glossy colored over the top. It's just watered down paint. So there's a lot of stuff when it comes to using wood beads. I learned a lot of it when I was macrameing. And then as I started to use wood in my jewelry making, I learned even more. Because I love a good wood bead and pearl necklace or a bracelet or whatever. But I'm telling you, the ones that have been oiled, these aren't stained. These are the natural color of these beads. The the beginning color I showed you, that's the natural color of walnut wood. Now, obviously, once they're oiled or conditioned or polished or whatever technique they go through, then their value goes up because more time has been put into it. And just like I tell all of you that you need to value your time is worth money. It is for anybody in business, not just the smaller time crafters. That's the way it is for everybody. And like I said, those who care about their customers and the product they're presenting to the world are the ones that are going to have a better quality product outright. I knew that these would be good oil because it's Brazilian walnut. And Brazilian walnut is the most expensive walnut there is when it comes to the beets because they still have a lot of rainforest down there and they have trees that haven't even been breathed on for 200 years, so it's not a tree that was grown quickly and harvested to use, like pine trees, stuff like that. They grow faster, they cut them down, they get replanted. So it's just a matter of, and I would recommend any of you guys before you take up a new section or a new avenue within the jewelry business, take 3 hours and just drum down on YouTube. And the people that are really passionate about it, the people that are not just reading a teleprompter or regurgitating things, are the ones that sound like me, that geek out over stuff like this, that like these walnut beads polished and everything else for 200 would have been about $100. And I believe these are like $6 for 200 of them. So it's stuff like that. And that's why I don't have a hard time talking about this stuff, because it is so ingrained in me and I have watched so many different videos and I have researched and looked to see what the best of the best. And then I watch shows of people like on HGTV, restores, the restoration um shows are some of the best to watch to learn about stuff like this, because the processes they're using to restore something of value from an earlier time is the best process, because especially those who know what they're doing, they're only using the best, and they've become the best because they've done a lot of trial and error. And I'm telling you, like, I tried to do the whole let me put a bunch of beads and like some stain and water it down and kind of shake it, because you'll find 100 videos, if not more, I'm sure, 10 times that videos that tell you that's the easiest and best way to stain wood beads. It's really not. And that's why a lot of macrame beads have that like plastic coating that's like shrink wrapped over the top of it, because they don't want to go through the process that it would take to get those beads to look good any other way. So, if there's anything else you guys would like me to I'm actually not. Here, I'll show you. But I know which ones you're talking about because you ask me all the time. I'm talking about these little 6 millimeter pearls, or 6 millimeter round Brazilian walnut beads. And there's a variation in color because the older the walnut is, the deeper, richer color it's gotten, because it's weathered the test of time and was still left standing. So just stuff like that. No, I need to find those again. Cheryl, I need to find those again because I know you really like them. I will put some in with you. I will put some in with your gift card stuff, which I also saw your email today. So I have put some stuff aside for you that I thought you would like. I just want to do a like, I know you want the mandrel, and she took a chance on me, didn't even know who I was when she was one of the random winners during Becky and Jenny's Christmas shows, where they were giving away gift cards and such to their fans of other people within the industry. And um she took a chance. She didn't know me, and she said, "Oh, $40 gift card sounds better than 25." And so I'm very thankful for that. But she had surgery. I hope you're feeling better. You've been in my thoughts and prayers because I know that you're healing from Shiftle's shoulder replacement. Um, so I know you're healing and stuff. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. I know they say money can't buy you happiness, but money buys beads, and beads make me happy. So that's what I do. I love these. Okay, so I wanted to work with these. These again are vintage glass beads. You can tell because they're a lot heavier than the vintage glass is just a heavier glass. Obviously, over manufacturing time and things of that nature, they tried to figure out a cheaper product that isn't as expensive to ship. And so the glass beads have gotten lighter and lighter and lighter because of that. But that also means that they break that much easier too. That is such a random purple to be in with the rest of all of these. Oh, that's so silly. So I thought that these ones beautiful with the rhyolite beads that I had. I love these. I bought them months and months and months ago, and then just had them in a recent sale. And I just thought these colors, they're a little bit darker and a little bit richer, and I thought they were very pretty. I also happen to have, it's one of my favorites, silver lace jasper beads that are, these ones are lighter, but they come as dark as this, which is just a lighter version of all of those beads, the glass beads that you saw on my mat. So I don't know, I might, one of the things I like to do is when I use a big bead, I like to use a smaller bead of this, either the same or close to at least that match my other beads so that it kind of just like look, these are just a smaller version of these, but because these are gemstones and these are glass, these are still going to pop in between here. But I also really like these little Heishi beads. I like to stack them. And since I oiled these beads, why don't we go ahead and use some of those as well as spacers. This is a large rhyolite opal that I have in my collection. Some of you from the very first sale may recognize this because the very first sale I had, this is silver lace jasper, and I sent these out as the free gift with purchase from my first sale. So anytime I go down there and Bernie has these out and like his little bowls everywhere that he will get a strand of beads in a buyout or whatever else, and instead of just have a single bead, he will he'll cut up the strand and put them out in the bowls and charge a higher price for the individuals um, rather than hold on to a strand of pearls in the back room or a strand of beads in the back room that nobody else is going to see. I just had my scissors out. I don't like using my cutter since Linda yelled at me for using them thin because every time I do, that happens to be the one she's in. Plus, I want my cutters. I want to stop having to replace my cutters as often as I am now. So let's see here. I need to get. Oh, see, these are also silver lace, but you can see they're the lighter color, like in here, whereas those other ones. And see, they do the same thing with gemstones. Those other ones have more color to them and all of that. And then, so then the ones like this, that's the more common occurrence, become cheaper than those. And that's how bead grades are created because they start, okay, there's some 8s in here because then people want the richer colors. So then suppliers hold on to those, put out the colors that aren't really selling, and kind of go from there. So let me get out some, I don't know, I still have on my copper wire. Because that's what I use when I'm testing designs. Because I was spending way too. I was using expensive wires to test things, but I'm like, thank you. Oh, and I'm releasing this video tomorrow. The video of this necklace that I made using the fossilized bamboo. This is the agate from the bargain bead box. I made this double loop ring. And this was only my third one that I made. So, and I figured out a much easier way to do it. But yeah, I just, with the Here Comes the Sun, like, was there a better bead to use from my stash? I mean, they all are just like little suns. So I was like, that's perfect. Ooh, barely caught that one. Drop that one. I have an antique desk that has those little, like, pull out spots so that you had another workspace. Generally, that's where the secretary took notes. Yes, connected right to their bosses. Desk. What was I getting? Stranger. Yes, I looked that up when I got this test. Like, why do they have those there? That's you know, back in the day when you couldn't just hit your boss. Not that you can, but you know what I mean. All right, I'm doing a full reset on my desk. Otherwise, all of this will already be done. Okay, I'm gonna grab out some medium soft flex. I'm gonna pull out. I always cut more than I should, but I don't know. I kind of feel this being more of a long necklace, and I don't even know that I'm gonna do much. Oh no, you're there, babe. I'm gonna need you to. Did you really come in here? Who's your phone sound on?
Oh, oops.
I hate hearing myself on his phone. They're gonna be like, oh, there's echoing. No, Steve just came in here. Thank you. He was bringing me my wind up. Appreciate that, babe. Can you though? I need this up, like here, right there. Sorry for the squeak.
Oops.
It's not just me that knocks stuff over. That's why we've been together for 28 years. One or the other's always picking up after the other. I think so. Hold on, because now Pixie's trying to. Oh, let's see. That's much better. Thank you. I'll add it to my tab, huh? These were some other glass pearls that I got. But they're not the right pink to go with. Even though this has like the darker, like mauvey purple to it. I mean, it doesn't look bad. But I want to use these. I want to pull out the richer, deeper colors. So those are off to the side. I also have some twisted nuggets, but I don't know where I put those. They were in a container of just nice Just how many 8mm square these back? Oh, there's not too many. Away because I'm not going to use you. So, as I was saying, I don't know that I'm going to do much with the focal. I haven't decided yet. So, I don't know. If you have any thoughts, let me know. This is a really, there's a couple of really big chunky pearls in here too, though. Sorry, my brain is like, there are things amiss. These do not match. So I have to get them out of my sight so I can get back on what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so they're so perfect. Those purple are like the perfect color to go with this rug. I still have quite a bit of these. I have a bunch of the pillow beads left, the square pillow beads. I have, I don't know what else I have, so I don't want somebody asking about it. I need to go get more pendants though, to go with them. I think I've got to, we're gonna have to start with several in the middle so that once we attach the focal on, we don't, it's not competing for space. So, and for those, I think I do want the darker colored 4mm beads, just so that they, because I think if we did all the gray, it would look a little off. Wait, this is Silver Lace. This is Rhyolite. I apologize. They have a lot of the same colors in them. That's why I was confused. I apologize. In case you guys were like, wait, I thought you said that was. I did. Okay, so I like these purpley mauve colors a lot. So I'm just gonna string some of these on. Hi, Gracia. Gracia. Said that wrong. Gracia. Sorry. After Heather goes off, I will watch the video for. Ooh, is the companion bundle good? I love Rhyolite pendants. Yeah. And I have some twisted teardrop focals that are absolutely stunning. Babe, if you hear this and remember where we put the container with my stash as well as the extra twisted pendants, can you come grab them for me so I can show them? But Bernie has more of these bigger ones if anybody's interested. I was jacked. That the only if it would not have been for the companion bundle last month, I would probably still be holding on to all of the Riley beads because they're gorgeous. And so, but it never lasts. I always have to share them with my girls because if they're just sitting here in a container, then they're not being appreciated enough. Whereas if I spread the lot over all of you, then they're getting appreciated by more people. So, yeah, I love these like purple and browns and blues and everything else. Okay, so let's see here. That's just about enough. And that told me if I'm just sticking a jump ring in. But this doesn't need a lot. It's so that's my thing. It's like I could do some cool wire wrapping and some spiral work and all of that to go on this, but I'm a traditionalist, I guess. I just don't like, I don't want to cover it up. And some people might not like this side because it has some of the like rusting colors going through it. But see, I just see that as this is for one outfit, that's for another. That's the way I did. Okay, so I wish there had been like two 8mm of these pearls that have been the same color. That would have. Alrighty, so what kind of spacer do I want to use? I have bronze in the itty bitty. I put these in between. I'll spread these out a little bit. Anybody have anything coming up this weekend? Anybody else needed a, glass of wine and to chat with the girls? And also, please talk amongst yourself when I do stuff like take all the beads off of my string. I don't feel nearly as bad when you guys are like chatting too. The only thing is, then I get FOMO because I'm like, what's everybody saying? It doesn't disappoint. Ugh, goodness. Okay, now I'm excited. If I was Randy, I would just share the screen and go watch the video. And I would do exactly what Randy does and fast forward to the parts I didn't think were important. Because if you know anything about me, I tend to watch things on YouTube in double speed. That way I can watch twice as much. Okay, yeah, I like that a lot better. I like it spread out or spread out a little bit. Um, and then I will probably just put one of these, or I'm gonna put two of these in a row. This one will go on the medium soft flex, and then I can just put the jump ring over the ones, the two of these that are right next to each other. And then that will become our center point. You see those puppies or hear those puppies? Oh my. They have definitely found their barks. It's been about a week now. There's always the early ones. Okay, come on. Oh, this is just my hands messing with me somewhere. No, it's bad if I'm trying to like pick it up off the mat with with my beading wire because that is not a talent I have. Okay, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm, 5. Yeah, like I was saying, there's always a couple that like find their bark before the rest of the litter. These guys have definitely found theirs. Okay, I also have bronze. Not a lot of spacers, but there were some people who didn't like my gemstone only designs a couple weeks ago, so sometimes I just don't want to put metal in between beautiful gemstones. I liked it. daisy spacers. Where are all the daisy spacers? What happened? I also have beads, and these pointy beads are kind of cool. I just don't have any of my bead caps here because I didn't know I was going to use bronze until 2 seconds ago. So I didn't make sure. Oh, here's my antique. I forgot most of them were still attached to the stackers that have the Thunder Horses and a Christmas box stuff in them. Because I still have that. These aren't the 6mm. So I'm gonna do 2 of the smaller ones, and then I want to start with the pearls. Or yeah, I'm gonna go in for this like green color. And then I want to do 2 of the daisy spacers. I want to do one of the bronze ones. 2 daisy spacers. And I'm using 2 because if I only used 1, you wouldn't be able to really see them as well in between these. So that's why. Okay, now I'm gonna do 2 more daisy spacers. And I'm gonna put a stack of 3 of these together. Unless they completely overpower them. I don't think so. Do you guys think that those are way too big? Or should I just not have the daisy spacers? Because we don't have to use the silver lace jasper. We could just go directly in with one of these triangular shaped ones. Do you like the silver lace jasper stacked, or do you like the rhyolite being put in? I know what I'm leaning towards, but I always it's where I would go if I wasn't designing for a video. I'm leaning towards the right. I think the silver lace jasper is actually not going to create as beautiful a pattern as these pearls with the rhyolite in between them would. To the point that I kind of want to take some of these off now that I put the daisy spacers, because I'm like, that's a lot of space that I can put in pretty. Yeah, this was the rhyolite. This was, yeah, I like it. Come on. That one didn't get killed. And then I'm just gonna continue to go with the variation of colors because these are all represented within rhyolite naturally. So, and then I'm obviously going in like sets of 3, and I'm doing that because obviously the human eye prefers things in odd numbers, which who do you think thought we should do a study on this? That's what I always wonder when I hear about stuff like that. Like, Who was sitting there and went, we should do a study on this information. Let's find out what people think. And were they men? Were they women? Wait, what? You like that? That may be too much. I always wonder, I don't like this glue with it, so that's not going to get used. On this necklace. Yeah, I love the Riley. Oh, there's two, so we're going to go to this and then go to another triangle. I don't know. Miss Dorothy, would you wear this necklace to church? Because Miss Dorothy will wear this necklace to church. And I know it's a good design because I don't know if the rest of you have seen the pictures of Miss Dorothy hobnobbing with people around her local area, but I have, and she always looks very stylish when she does that. So she'll wear that. Yeah. You tend to do 357. Yeah. And I like to do stuff like I just dropped that. I don't know why my arm's spasm. I do not feel good. I will take that out. I like to do so as well. I just am loving all of these colors together. So it's like there's more of there's like this. Maybe that's the only one of this color though. Uh-oh. Ugh, I gotta take it out. That'll look weird. Sorry. There's only one of that color. It would just be so weird. It would look so out of the place, like that Sesame Street song. Um, the one about what's the difference or the same or something like that. And then I am varying the pattern and like which order I'm putting the beads in because I don't want them to all look exactly the same, like from start to bottom or start to finish. Because set, I do see that I keep putting the purple last, so I'm gonna put a rhyolite on here, and then I'm gonna put the purple first after the rhyolite. Then it won't be so obvious. Okay. I think I am just gonna attach the jump ring because this is beautiful. And sometimes, like, you just need to let the way that these things were made sit there. My other thought is I could do a bead of it. And either just pop some of these on a thinner piece of like wire and just do it around the top and have that set on it. I think I might want to put some of those on. But I will show you a little trick that I like to do when I do a veil like this. Let's And that is that I like to use a piece of thread so that I can knot it instead of trying to put a crimp tube there, because I like to sometimes wear different sides of the same piece of jewelry different way, different uh blah 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 blah. I like to wear the same piece of jewelry just face different ways depending upon the outfit that I'm wearing. That's what I was trying to say. So I can put the beads on, then I tie a knot, and then I pull the knot into the part of the pendant that obviously we're not going to see. Oh my god, these are going nuts. You must be playing with them. Which after working all day out in the sun, he deserves a break. That's playing with puppies. Oh, can't see the bag. Yeah, I'm just gonna thread these and then I'm going to go through the hole and I'm gonna knot it. So that's, I'm just grabbing some. And it's not gonna take a lot of these. Yeah, the pendant isn't attached quite yet. Oh, are you reserving your answer without yeah, it's one of those things that's not like the other. Thank you. Thank you, Grosha. I was hearing it in my head, but just the melody, not the words. Yes, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, Dorothy's not gonna answer me until she sees which what the veil looks like. Then she'll tell me if she'd wear it to church. Let's see. I don't want it to be too long. Gonna need probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 more. 4. I'm just teasing. If you gave your answer and it just already scrolled past, I'm just teasing. I have got to get some kind of little AC unit for this room, or else I'm not gonna make it this summer. In here, it's the hottest room in the house. It's also hot in this room because they did an illegal addition on this house, and all of the air is sucked into um that part of the house, which is the master bedroom. And then the rest of the house just is hotter because of it. Okay, so now, nope, don't do that. Bead, you don't get to be part of the knot too. My hands don't cooperate today. I do this all the time. I not want to run the bead anyways, but it's okay. Cut this off and burn it. I'm going to rotate it down on the inside of the. Okay. Hopefully I didn't make this so small that I can't slide this over the top of the little beads. No, it'll just take a little finagling. That very, technical term. So then see. So do you think that there are too many of the 4mm on now? Now that this is on, I'm thinking I might only want 3, and this is the time to do it. I don't know, I could go either way. In case any of you are wondering, no, I have not made a decision about the adventuring necklace, the pendant that I was wrestling over. I think it's too many of them. Or do you like? Oh yeah, that's right. It did happen too. No, leave it. You would go 3, but that's just you. See, that's what I'm thinking. Just because at 3, it wouldn't be that much shorter. But then we get more of the pearls and the larger rhyolite beads. I think I agree with Rosanna on this one. Yeah. So I'm going to take these off, put a second one of these on, and then the other 2. And then put them back on. And then we can get on with the pattern. Because it does have the spacers in between them as well. Which I think it needed. I do not regret that decision at all. It would have just been too many. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're done. There's the littles. Now we can start adding the first part. I'm happy. I understand we're over an hour, guys. I did a lot of talking about a lot of stuff at the beginning that not all of you may have been interested in, but I hope you can indulge me when I have those kind of days where like I want you guys to be able to make the jewelry you want to. And if there's something that I can do to help you do so, even if it is just alleviating price or letting you know that just because a would be looks a certain way in the store doesn't mean that's the way that bead will look if you add a little bit of oil to it, or if you see the beads that are all one solid color, but then you see the ones that have those thinner bands directly around the middle. Now you'll know why that is. and you're not gonna wonder like, how come those ones look like that and none of these other ones do? Because the company that did those didn't care about the product they were putting out. Because, like, could they really care if they're okay? Like, I don't know. That could be a little harsh. That's not. I need to show them grace. I don't know their situation. But my point is, I just want you guys to. You ordered some of those? Yeah, they're really pretty. What brand did you buy? Had I already sent you the listing? Because the brand is Nanalu. So this is the company that made the walnut beads I showed tonight. And they have a storefront on Amazon. So I just want to make sure that you're getting the right ones. But yeah, they're beautiful. And there are going to be people that are going to be like, see, Heather, if you wouldn't have told them that, and you would have just spoiled the beads yourself, you could have sold it to them for more money. That's not who I am. And if that makes me business financially poor, I'm richer in my relationships, then I'm okay with that. I don't ever want to be a person who's, especially not people. I talk to you guys, we chat on Messenger and during our lives, and I do most of the talking. You're like, Heather, you do all of the damn talking. Like, who are you kidding? Okay, I'm gonna do two more repeats on the other side. And see where the length is at and what I think. And I know there's gonna be some of you guys who are gonna be like, you should have put the beads in the same order on both sides. That's me 99% of the time. But because they have these chunkier beads on it, I think it's okay to be more, not even asymmetrical, just not as pattern focused. Because all of those colors are within the Riley beads. So, okay, let's see. To do the other, my thing is not centralized. So it's not hanging right. I don't know. Okay, yes, the patterns are correct. I'm going to click on this. Pull everything off. Even though I'm not doing a direct pattern, I am trying to stay aware of what, or like that I'm using one of each color and that I'm not putting the same pattern over. Because what's the point in not being all the same if I'm like putting a bunch of purples together or whatever. Like, but that is another way that you could do this necklace is you could actually color block in between the rhyolite triangle beads. So you could do all of this like olivey green and then all of the purple, all of the bronze. That's another way that this necklace could be put together that wouldn't have a whole other look about it. And that's the fun of jewelry making. Is that the littlest choices. Look at that. I love when they have pockets of quartz. They're so pretty. Like that's all translucent. Half of this piece. So pretty. Some people would have said that bead was like not worth it. And to me, that bead is just gorgeous that way. It's funny because when I went to the Grand Canyon finally, like probably 3 years ago, I've lived in Arizona all but 5 years out of my entire 46 years of being on the planet. And I only just went to the Grand Canyon 3 or 4 years ago when my sister brought her girls out here for a visit. And that was one of the places she wanted to go. And I was like, all right. And it was funny because I was taking photos. And as I was taking photos, I noticed that there were like all of these like pockets in the stone that looked like eyes. And they were like all over the canyon. And I was like, that's proof that the Heavenly Mother is up there looking out for her hubby's work. She's making sure nobody's mistreating it. That's exactly what I thought when I saw that. I was like, I have no more doubt that there's a Heavenly Mother up there because that's what I would do if my husband had completed that work of art. Like, I would make sure it was good. Okay, I'm good where um the pattern length is right now. This will drive me nuts. It's not gonna stay in place, but it's okay. I think I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do one more like set of three or try to decide. I don't have any bronze chain right here. But yes, that's exactly what I thought when I saw that. Just say you're feeling eccentric today, love. Okay. They make beautiful bracelets for men. They also look absolutely gorgeous with pearls. As much as I love leather with pearls, I also love um wood and pearls. But it's got to be good wood beads. Like you can't. I'm a pearl girl, though, so that's why I say I wouldn't put just any wood bead in my. I think I'm actually gonna tap this at 5 for that whole, I remember saying it. But is that not the way, like, you guys, like, um, what did Dorothy say? Did I miss something? Yes, you were. Okay. I'll just look how you get in here. Yeah, right? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Righty. 3. Where's that one? That one. Make this different just because I wanna. I'm probably going to either do some more silver lace beads up at the top or I just don't like big beads across my neck. It really messes with my neck. So either that or I'm gonna put leather on it, one or the other. The leather would probably feel nicer, especially with this heavy veil in the center, or the heavy pendant and all the. I'm probably gonna use leather. Oh, you guys can't see. I'm like, oh, doesn't this look nice? You guys can't see. Leah feels me on that. Using the leather rather than the beads. But if I did this up along the back, it would be okay too. Because that wouldn't be too bad. I love it. I'm excited. See, maybe I just need to ramble more often. Some of my favorite designs happen when I've been rambling on and on with you guys. I don't have any Leather Cord USA black leather. Oh, I do actually. It's not thick. It'll do. I can double it over. You know, it's that time of year when I restock everything when this is all the black leather I have. So I will just make. But you know what I might do? I might do this. I might put a crimp tube on, right? Put the crimp tube on. And then do the 4mm, the spacer, the 4mm, the spacer, and then loop back down and through that to make the loop that I attached the leather to. Because I feel like that elevates it to a different level to do so. What do you think? Am I crazy? You would use brown. Let me see what brown color I have left. The only one that would sit up on my desk is this reddish leather that I have. You know what I do have? I have this bronze leather, but also on that card of leather, I also had purple. No, not this card. Where's the other one? There was like a deep purple on one of them, so I'm gonna use that. I might have already used that leather. I think this bronze would go pretty, don't you? Girl, you guys, she got some good leather. Exactly. Michelle, you're in my head right now. But yeah, no. If I'm gonna do that though, I'm gonna take off the top two pearls. Just so that, because I don't want it like a 24-inch necklace. But, like I said, I gotta get a curve tube first. That's why I'm gonna use gold. Since I am gonna use leather, I think the gold will look best with that bronze. That's a size 3 crib, which I have been known to use my poker brand because it also is not that. I can't find my size 2 gold crabs. So size 3 it is, and I might have to use regular crimper. But that's all right. As I sit here perusing my desk. because she's just out not all right. And that's why I think it'd be good. You guys, like, if you want to set up beading buddy, like beading, why did I do that? I already have. You guys want to set up like little beading get-togethers? Let me know, and I will go set up a studio for you and your girlfriends. I will send you the link so that you can share it with them. And like, I charge you $5. And that's only because it costs me so much a month in StreamYard fees. Otherwise, I'd do it for free. But if that's something you wanted to do, if a lot of the amazing women in your life do not live near you, or if maybe it's just your beading friends that don't, and you want to like sit and chat and get to look at each other's pieces and not have to wait for the pictures to go across the internet and whatever, let me know if that's something you would like. Heck, let me know if it's something you'd like to do with me. I wouldn't mind. And I wouldn't charge you if it was with me. You guys already get a lot of Heather in the week, so I won't feel bad if you're like, we're good. We're good, Heather. That's too big. I'm just gonna do the spacers. That was too bulky looking for me. It's not what I was seeing in my eye, but it's. I don't like these. These are way too big. Let me see. Maybe I'll just do like a flat, like size one gold grips. You guys think I'm neurotic about my choices when on the normal, when I really like them design. Oh, but can you put two? You can't put medium soft legs through a number one grip. Where are my number two grips? I have some good metal ones right here. Those are dark. They'll blend here. No. When I like the way a necklace turns out, then I want to make sure that I'm finishing it off correctly. I can get these beads to go on. I swear. These beads fit on. They're just like, they just fit on because they're 2 millimeters. I just think it'll look better to have the bead for the leather to sit in. If you have to go, I promise I'll show this off again tomorrow. This is taking longer than painting. Or this is taking longer than it takes for paint to dry. Is what I was trying to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 7. I don't need a big loop. I just wanted a beaded loop because that's something the next lady over at the craft fair will have. There. Yeah, I don't know that way. There you go. My other picture. I don't want to get to the other side and not have enough wire to crimp, so that's why I like moved everything. Oh, there's only 8 on there. I'm like, why is there a middle point? Okay, I'm gonna put 8 on. Okay, crimper. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I went to school with somebody that used to say that like that all the time. So I've said it that way ever since. Okay, here we go. I can do this. Oh, ooh, I was almost just really upset. Can you imagine how mad I would have been had I put 9 of those little beads on here just to find I forgot to put the curved tube on first? I know we've all done it, but come on, go down. Or not. Can somebody please tell me when menopause ends? Because I had a hysterectomy at 24, and I don't know if that's the reason it feels like it's lasted 2 decades. It hasn't really, but or was just because I live in Arizona. Come on, please go on to the thing for. Oh, this one just does not. I'm gonna cut the very end at an angle. See if that helps. This is the part of my time I feel bad charging customers for. Because it's not their fault my hands don't work. This bead needs to go back where it came from. Because I swear I picked the same bead up 5 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more to go. 2. It was just that one bead. I swear I had to have been picking up the same bead over and over again. Okay. Let gravity do its work. Let it sit down onto the mat nicely. crisscross applesauce style. Oh, come on. Don't be difficult. Thank you. Oh, wait, no. The bead just pushed up. My hands. Okay. I want it to be that tight. There we go. Then I'll just do there's the gap. Do I just use the crank cover later? Yes, I just do a crank cover. I've already crimped this more or crunched this more than once. There's no way I could cut it off and not have my cord mangled underneath. Okay. I really like this bronze wire. So thank you for saying you've used brown. Because now I think this is like perfect because it's the same color as the spacers and stuff. There's always little tips and tricks that you can learn to like not have to start things over. And they came to be because too many of us had to start projects over. So we shared that with everyone. Okay. Do I double it up? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put for cards on both sides. Oh no, it's not as bad. That was just pressed all the way down. Okay, yeah, they're gonna need curb covers. So do I want at a minimum? I can't waste leather. Ah, it's alright. I will figure it out. Okay. All I'm trying to decide is if I want to double this up or if just a single cord should keep it. I would imagine. Did you guys see how I finished off that veil? The other day to make it what's the word? Adjustable. If you haven't, I will show you. But there is a little bit of math to it. Oh yeah, Heather, you don't need all that leather because you're stiff. Okay, so you're gonna put the barrel tube, not barrel, not tube, or tube bead. On here, you're gonna go around with the longer side, and you're gonna go once, twice. I only like twice. I just realized I didn't cut this leather. I always put the one I'm gonna wind with on top. I'm gonna go once. I like twice because one side it has like the perfect stripes, but then the other side makes it look like there's like this little crisscross, and I like that side. I like the way it looks. Now, this is not quote unquote natural cord from Leather Cord USA. So I'm going to have to be very vigilant about tightening this, but then also gluing it because this will want to unknot because it has the slickness to it. So yeah. And I will show you how I made this adjustable. I cut way too much leather. That's okay. Because I will use the excess to make earrings with. So come to this side. under and over again a second time. I will tell you that you will become a better barrel knotter if you start off using natural leather, not the dyed slick natural that is more common at craft shows, craft stores, which I don't know why that is. Okay, all I did to make the necklace I made the other day adjustable was I took some wire and I made a coil on my 6-step veil making pliers. And this is 1.5 millimeter, not 2 millimeters. So the second step will be perfect for this. The other day, I used the 4 millimeter mandrel, and that was because the leather was 2 millimeter. So I like to do, well, it depends on the size, obviously. I like to do about 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And if you're not sure what size to make, I'd recommend doing some shorter coils. You can always use them to make yourself some jump rings afterwards if it's the wrong size, because you're going to feed the leather in crossways. But when I hold this, if it doesn't fall off, this is a little too big. Because it didn't slide a lot, but it slid enough for me to now try to figure out which one of my other wubbers, because I feel like the first step will be too tight. That's the exact same size. Dang it. I think it's the larger side of my other mantle right here. Yeah, because this is smaller than this, but bigger than the one step. So I have this set of 4 mandrels. These are not wubbers. I need to get some wubbers, I've been told. That I will like it much better. And the reason I'm using bronze wire right now because I used bronze throughout everything else, and although this will look gold for however long, when it reaches full patina, it will be a beautiful dark brown. So I'm gonna make 10 rounds. You want to make sure they're pretty nicely stacked. Like mine aren't all pushed together right now, so I'm gonna do that. Don't go until the very end to push your coils back together. It's harder to do so when you're dealing with 10 full coils. Come on. These little mandrels, though, Leah, does your smallest ones, do you have to pull them all the way down at the bottom for your wire to not just like, it's like spinning my tires. That right there would be reason enough for me to invest in some wubbers, at least in the smallest ones. Okay. Then all you do, like I said, is you're just going to slide the leather through going opposite ways, and then just tie whatever kind of knot you want, whether it be an overhand knot, whether that be and the good thing is that because it's a coil, you can like play with it a bit until the other side comes through, and then you can tie your knots on the end and leave it there. I'm not gonna knot mine. What?
You have requests for you to read your screen more.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, going good.
Hold on, just a second. Okay. Oh, I missed so much. Hold on. I think you made a necklace using pearls and wood. I have made a necklace using pearls and wood. Thank you, Leah. Brown suede lace would have been pretty. Oh, truly wear that necklace. It's gorgeous. Thank you, Dorothy. Oh, yes, the bronze would work. I seed bead loops. I think it looks nice. I love the bronze. Thank you. Randy's using deer. I saw that. Was that today or was it yesterday? I don't know. I know I didn't. I caught it. You took off some pearls. I did take off a couple of pearls. Hello, my dear. I was just starting to ask you earlier if you'd be on tonight. Why can I never find you? I don't know. Aw. You still, okay, well then there you go. Hmm. Right? I have the hardest time with pricing. And I think that's women because guys wouldn't even think twice about it. So no, this is rhyolite, not unify. Menopause never stops pausing. Good. What is the post in the background? I don't know what you mean. You prefer the natural leather, me as well. Thank you, Tim. I know I'm bad. Night, Barbara. I know I missed saying goodbye to you. Hi, Georgina. Love your wubbers. I want the complete line. Okay, so these are some vintage glass pearls that I got from Bernie's. This is rhyolite. So the main pendant of the companion bundle for last month's box was rhyolite. And I've been holding on to these rhyolite beads for like 8 months. And as soon as I saw those, I was like, nope, gotta do a sale, put it together, and did it. I love them. What you did miss though that I'm gonna be able to bring. So the pearls are just glass vintage glass pearls that Bernie had some random Ziploc bag of and gave me a good price on because of the other beads that you missed. But yeah, so the columns and the center stone are all right. It just comes in variations like any other stone. But these are South Sea shell pearls, South Sea China shell pearls that are beautiful. So, because you guys have been asking for me to do a pearl sale, I went down and talked to Bernie yesterday. And this is one of the things he pulled out. He's got a whole bunch. This isn't even a drop in the bucket of the sizes or colors he has. But I'm obsessed with them already. So those will be out of sale soon. Oh yeah. Oh, Kim did it right. So the ones on the necklace are glass. These are not. These are 100% shell. So they're not like the shell pearls that you have seen Bargain Bead Box and Sam's and other places selling. Those have a glass center with shell put on the outside and then they put a protective coating over it. These are solid shell. So, and they're absolutely beautiful. Still can't decide if this is blue or green. I think it's blue, but I don't know. These I was calling the Easter pearls because these are all the colors you'd see in an Easter basket. These beautiful bronzy coppery pearls are stunning. Like I said, he's got these in a ton of different sizes and colors, and I'm already obsessed. I grab some of these like shorter strands, come home and play around with, and then I'm gonna do my research because I don't buy a bunch of stuff from Bernie and just stop Bernie saying this is what they're worth anymore. I did it one time and I've learned my lesson. So, these do not come in large bowl, honey. Yes, I know, and that's what Steve, or not Steve, I think that's what my daughter said too. Because next to the navy pearl, it looks green. But when it's not right next to the navy pearl, you can only imagine what Beth did after just seeing those 3 blue pearls. But yeah, these ones don't come in large hole pearls. But the holes aren't like, they're not itty bitty. Like some of them have been able to wiggle over the knot. But yes, they're gorgeous. They might be worth the smaller hole, Kim, just saying.
Yep.
What?
Kim wants to know
Kim wants to know what?
which pup wouldn't shut up, and it was 2 of them.
This one
That's Hope and
and
Grace.
this one. This is Hope. This is Grace.
Dara the big mouse.
She's a lab. She's the lab. No, she's the lavender. That's why her nose is that color. They're like, wait, now we're on the spotlight. What? Yeah, that's because you girls want to be quiet. You should have known that 5 of the 6 or
5 of the 6 of
5 of the 6 are girls.
That's why they're not quiet.
Yeah, exactly. They don't stop talking. But yeah. Oh yeah, Leah last night I called her back. I'm like, and I called late. Like I called like 8 o'clock my time, not even thinking about it. She's in Mississippi, so it was after 10. I'm like she picked it up just as I was about to hang up. I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't realize how late it was, but look. She was like, oh my. And how much are those? And what are those? Oh, this is the fall strand, Kim. See the oranges and the greens, and they're very pretty. I'm very excited to bring them all to you guys. I really am. You guys know when I get excited about stuff. I will do my darndest to get the best price I can possibly so I can pass that on to all of you. Because obviously, I can't do it for free, but I'd still like to get you guys all good prices because that's how I'd want to be treated. So, I like to treat you guys the same way that I would want to be treated. But, thanks for hanging out for me. You're welcome, sweetie. Yeah, Leah was like, verklempt. You know that word? Thought she might need a fainting couch for a second there. But your super god will be a business expense. Anyways. Alrighty, love. Yeah, Cheryl. Well, you and I gotta talk later. Anyways, can we talk tomorrow? I do better with video chats. I have a hard time putting together collections without having any face-to-face conversation. Like she won a gift card or a gift certificate, I guess, because I don't have a website. Back at Christmas time, from one of the lives that Becky and Jen did. And then she had surgery and everything else, and she was like, just put a collection. And I have a hard time to talk to someone face to face, but yeah, I know they are. But anyways, ladies, I'm gonna get going. I haven't seen my husband all day, and I kind of like the guy, so I'd like to spend some time with him. But thank you guys for always being here. For those of you watching in the future, this is what we do on Wednesday Night Wind Down, right? I can't wait. Yeah, I get to speak him in person. I'm so excited. May 20th, because that's when all the high schools in the state of Arizona, unless they're like Like not a typical high school. What am I trying to think of? Alternative schools, unless you're an alternative school. The majority of those now are even going towards it because they're all on May 20th. So that like it's really because all the Mormons that live here, and they know if they spread them out, they're gonna have like 8,000 people in the stands, and it's gonna be a traffic nightmare. So they have them all on the exact same night. So we were, but all right. Love you guys. Cannot wait to see you. I'll be back on Friday morning. And until then, as always, happy beading.